Okay, so what I'm doing is a little custom work on a new motor for the big tow, or the Geo that I tow with. But we're going to put some tank tracks on it and do some modifications, get a turbocharger and stuff. Anyhow, I've had a set of, if some of you will be really familiar with the buying like used motors where the back of the crank pulley, I get my thought together here, where the crank pulleys are wiped out, and it's from people swapping used motors in and out. This disc goes with a motor that, in fact, it goes in that direction onto the crank. You put this disc on the lower crank pulley when it doesn't have cogs on it for the cam gear, or for the crank sensor. It's actually a cam sensor, but we call it a crank sensor because it's feeding off the crank. These are the three different options you have for timing belts on a Metro. You've got the early style, I don't know what you can see here, square cog, round cog, same size, and then the later model 4-cylinder, or I think 98 or 2000 or newer, round timing belt. It'll actually, you can put this small timing belt on this one. In fact, it's a good way to save 25 bucks when you're doing a timing belt if you want. But what I was going to do is I'm going to upgrade to a 4-groove pulley for the water pump, because I hate those water pumps squealing, or alternator squealing on the water pump pulley. So keeping my thoughts together, because I should have thought this through before I turned the video camera on, I took the cogs off of it, the timing marks that use the magnetic pickup in the oil pan in the late model cars. We don't have that because we're using an early model 93, 94 car. So I just chucked this up in the lathe and I just cut that off flush right to the back of the teeth. And in fact, there's no work done to it all, except for I just came in with a cutter tip and just cut it off, making it exactly like an early style cog. It's completely flat. In the very, very early generation Sprint, and I think all the way up to 91 or 92, they've got a recess cut in the back here, but it has no factor in it. It's a flush here and flush here. So we're just cutting to flush. Once that's installed, once this is cut off, the timing counter teeth are cut off, then you just simply have to have the timing belt guide cover, and this stops the timing belt from walking into the block and getting chewed up. And it's got a keyway in it, you got your keyway and your flywheel, everything matches up. And what this does, and the reason for this is you go from a 4-bolt crank pulley to a 5-bolt, so now you need the new crank pulley that has the 5-bolt pulley on it. And you could get one of those with a 3-groove or with a 4-groove serpentine belt to drive the water pump. If you choose the skinnier one of them, you get, this would be like on a 1994 car. You still get a 3-groove water pump belt. And what we're really trying to do is we're going through all this nonsense to switch this around. And all I want is the 4-groove for the water pump belt, so it doesn't, so the belt lasts longer. So both 5. Just an early style and a late model, and then this belt happens to be about 25 or 50% bigger. And if you choose to do that upgrade, just remember you need all of the pulleys off the donor car because they're going back on, and that goes as far as the water pump pulley and the alternator pulley. And it just makes it a lot nicer. There's a reason they switched up to that later, but not 100% necessary. And I will just give you a quick overview because I don't know what I showed you here. This motor is also getting a set of balanced and ground rods, so I've got those out here where I'm double checking everything before it gets reassembled. But you'll see the back sides. Early up to 94. I think after 98 are all 1.3 liters. And then cog that goes all the way back to Sprint. And then the front sides, all identical. And if I remember right, we're still just using the early style bolt. In fact, I'm not sure. I have to go out and check. I think the bolt is still the same length because it's just a smidge difference. But there's a little update you can do if you own a lathe. And these are really a pain to chuck up in a 3-jaw that I have here. So I actually couldn't get it perfect, so it was a little out on mine. But since you're just cutting the face off, it didn't matter. So we're just locking it in. And it just happens that my chucks, when they're locked in, are just behind where we cut to. So I get really lucky because I get to push it right up against the chuck head here to make sure it's perfectly square. The other lathes, you might not be so lucky. But it saves a bunch of work trying to build a jig to square it up. Alright, we're going to punch through this and see if we can get a motor built and running in a few hours. Alright, we're just dropping a crank into this new case or block. This is the it's a new block, but I'm reusing my old crank because it's perfect. But what I wanted to show is when you put a crank in a motor, this is all torqued, isn't it?
Yes.
It should just zing right over. That's just my finger on a wrench. No tight spots. If you get a tight spot, start backing bolts off until it goes away and reset your bearings. Assuming it's that simple. But and then this isn't even really a stock crankshaft, but that's one of the reasons we're paying it forward, because I don't want to build another one. It's a happy motor. You ready to put some paint on this block?
Yeah.
Are we?
It's all just all clean.
Awesome.
There you go. Unless we put the end caps on, then paint it with the oil pump and the end of it and paint it that way. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, why don't we do it that way? That'll look clean.
Yeah.
Let's paint it red. And then if we have a can of like John Deere green, we're not going to break our head down, are we?
I don't think we are. No,
No, we're not. No, I was thinking if we had a head broke down. I was thinking of doing the MPG head in green.
Oh, okay.
Just for no fucking reason.
Just for GP.
Yeah. Look at that crank right there. That's the wear from the rear main seal. It's getting pretty deep.
So you turn backwards then?
Yeah. Why don't we put the rear main seal in backwards?
Okay.
Well, it'll step it off.
Because this one's insane a little bit.
Yeah.
Not much though. It's not as bad as that one.
No, but I just pulled these cores out when I built this motor out of a pile. I think I have 400,000 miles on it. And
yeah.
We used to do the machine work up on it. So they probably weren't nearly as bad.
But still.
You probably don't even have to flip it around. Just don't tap it in all the way. I'll leave it out in it. I don't care if you put it in forward or backward. Yeah, we'll shoot it up. And then since we're going to reuse the old water pump on it, why don't we shoot that silver?
Okay.
Actually, I don't care. Just bolt everything on it. We'll just paint the whole damn thing red. When it goes in the car, it's all hidden from the exhaust and stuff.
Except for
I know we're going to do
starter, right?
Yeah, and we could shoot this paint on those too. It's just what I wanted to do is, since it's going to get a turbo on it and it's going to have tracks and a freewheel setup on it and all the bullshit that goes along with that, and I'm going to camp in it heavily this
summer.
This coming, as soon as it quits snowing, we should
couple points then.
Yeah, people are going to have the hood open looking and stuff. Yeah, let's just do that. All right, that's enough video on that. Alright, here's the new red racer motor for the Geo. It's awful pretty. Be up and running here in just a few. Gonna drive this thing home tonight. Alrighty, just dropped the block in here. See, it's got the new updated pulley on it, new updated timing cover pulley. Chris, I don't think this is a big enough timing cover pulley. Do you? Doesn't it look like it's gonna run? Or no? Is that just me?
Find out.
No, I don't mean turn it.
Well, if I turn it, you can tell me.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's alright, I see it now. There's a gap between. What I'm looking for is the gap. I got my finger on the camera and stuff, but it's not going to touch there.
Okay.
And they always rub the nut because they always have holes in them. So that was it. We're good to go. I like the red racer. I wanted to make sure you could see all the dirt on it this time.
And all that shit.
We'll pressure wash it off when it's all done. I just dropped a new tranny in it. New engine. Upgraded to a 4 serpentine belt on it. Yeah, it's just the old water pump off. The old motor didn't have the miles on it, but more than anything, I wanted to do make it like a 98 or newer. You ready to run over and get some fasteners?
Yeah.
Well, let's take your beater. My car's got a bunch of stuff on the passenger seat. Let's take a look here.
I switched starters because I put the screw in, one screw broke off, so I just swapped them down.
Oh man, it's good to use one. That's a big one too, good. Sweet! Well, this thing will be running in a few minutes though. Okay, so a little FYI, if you're doing this update, and really I want to concentrate on these pulleys if people are out there wanting to do that. We've got the 4-groove pulley on the alternator now. Got a 4-groove for the water pump. We've upgraded to the 5-bolt crank pulley, which gives us 4 grooves for the serpentine belt. We've put the larger idler on there for the late model, so it'd be like a 98 or whatever, 97. And now we've moved to the late model cam pulley, and then we've taken and you gotta have a late model timing cover, and then I cut all my timing covers off. But no matter what, you have to have the late model cover that you took off these gears off the engine, and that's pretty much it so far. Alright, that's it up and running. It's been running for a couple minutes now. Got a lifter pumping up. Actually, we didn't go through the head on this, so it's probably kind of noisy lifter. Probably pull it out and clean them. Not too terribly worried about it, to be honest with you. But we'll get to it. And, that head looks horrible. We didn't even wash it at all on that red paint.
Yeah.
But that's not the head that's going to stay on it, so I'm not worried about it. As soon as we bolt the turbocharger on here, we're going to take this head off and put a different one on. I like this a lot. You know, maybe we do all the turbo motors. Do them all red. Maybe something like that. Distinguish them out a little bit.
What?
As soon as the fan cycles, let's reset the timing on it.
Well, I didn't mention this.
No, I saw the timing mark there. Let's make sure it's right. Now that we changed pulleys, I'm sure it's dead on, but we'll just make sure. Yeah. I'll just set the timing on it and pressure wash it and then park it. It's done. So that's your conversion right there. Serpentine belt, bigger timing belt. Really a quieter timing belt at high RPM. And that was the reason I converted this over. The motor gets turbocharged. We're going to turn some R's up on it and see if we can break it. And this belt has a lot quieter entry and exit through the teeth as it turns up high RPM. It's actually looking for oil leaks, to be honest with you, and water leaks. And, that antifreeze that you see there, that's just from one of the heater hoses. Had a little pinhole in it up by the clamp, so you just pulled it off and cut it off and shortened the hose up a little bit. And this has a relocated fuel filter. There's not one back by the gas tank. That's what you're seeing here. I think we might be going, yep, there we go. Well, besides that, the big toe's back on the road again, and as it starts getting some accessories, the big toe should be a 3-wheeler come next week, I think. Looks like we're going to get the last spindles built up on it. They're down at the machine shop picking up, or at the metal shop picking up some steel right now to build the spindle for the rear trailing arm, and I think we'll be driving. It's going to be exciting. We'll have a third wheel out here, sitting right out here. It's going to be awesome. From the trailer hitch receiver, we'll go in the new trailer hitch pin for the third wheel, because we're never going to stop towing. We're just going to do it with 3 wheels. And then we'll do the finalizing test. I'm just going to do driving back and forth. We got some certified string tape stuff that we put all over the unit, and see if it breaks it, and then we know where if there's any stress, or if it doesn't, then we know we're good to go. And then the 3-wheeler unit comes off, and the fixtures are already made to build the whole thing, so if we don't have to alter the fixtures, probably have it out ready to ship in, God, no time at all. What else? Oh, and then it comes back off this car, because this car's getting tank tracks put on it. Cool, let's call this one a wrap.